And I'm going to bring one concept over there, which I've learned from the fantastic Tony Robbins. I think in order to build positiveness, it's very important. People can do meditation, people can write a diary, people can write a journal, and people can do a lot of things. But what is very important is, if you want to build positivity, you got to shift your focus. Okay. Now, what basically happens is, a lot of time when we face a challenge in our life, or let's say we just had a battle with our partner, with a family member, or we had something in college that happened, in office that happened, something that did not work out. What happens is, we are consistently so focused on what did not work out. And there is a scientific term called negativity bias. Now, what is negativity bias is, it does not matter how many good things happened in the day. There is one thing which is negative that will overpower everything that has happened good in the day. For example, right now, if you're feeling negative, if you're feeling depressed, or you're feeling disappointed, or you're just feeling stressed, are you able to count at least five things that are good in the day? For example, did you eat your lunch? A lot of people do not get lunch to eat. Did you eat your dinner? Possibly. Okay. Do you have a shelter to stay? Do you have a mother and father? Do you have family members? Are you alive? Are you breathing? Do you have cancer right now? Most people say, oh, no, no, I don't have cancer. Great. So these are five good things that you already have with you. But if you just had one challenge where somebody criticized you, somebody said something to you, then what happens is, that overpowers everything that has happened to you. And then consistently you're bogged down with that one thought. And that is called negativity bias. So rather than just making that negativity your favorite or bias, what you do is shift your focus and say, okay, right now I'm feeling this thing is not working, this is not working, solutions are not happening. Can I shift my focus to what's working right now? What's good in this moment? Okay. So uh, I'll give you an example, Aditya. I was a long time back when I used to just deliver sessions in front of smaller group of people, 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people. That's the group of people I should deliver. Uh, there is a very large, air conditioning company in India, one of the top companies actually, and they called me to deliver a keynote speech. And I was not a keynote speaker, motivational speaker that time. I was just getting into it. I had not even written Fallen to Rise that time. So I go on the stage, and the thing was, the keynote that was supposed to happen, it was in an open garden. So I had never delivered a keynote in an open garden. It was a beautiful resort, but it was an open garden. Now you can understand, and it is at 5 p.m. in the evening. And if it is in an open garden, the entire stage is filled with chairs and all, and there are lightings. So I felt as if I'm going to speak at a wedding. So me and my colleague, we go over there completely shocked. What the hell is this? Because conference rooms are very controlled. There are no noises. Suddenly you can see people walking around. Having a little drink of wine and all. And I'm on the stage thinking, what the hell is going on? And they put on the speaker, they put on the lights and everything, and then they put on the projector, and I was depending on my presentation. And the problem is, because it's 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m., nothing on the projector can be seen. And the connection, the connection of the wires and all is so far away that my laptop is far away from me. And we don't have, what we say,
Clicker.
the clicker.
Clicker.
So you can just imagine, like I said at the start, one thing that we need to learn in life is uncertainty. We got to accept uncertainties. Everything is not working for me. And there are 100 people. And I'm used to be very engaging, For example, I consistently, is that right? Are you okay? Are you understanding? But the audience is dead like a zombie. They aren't answering my question. Because the concept that I had in my mind is, everybody should be talking, but there is an audience that also just listens. They don't want to talk, they don't want to listen. But I'm not used to it. I thought they can't understand me, or they're not enjoying it. And 100 people are completely quiet. And then I play the music, and while I'm playing the music, unfortunately, because of pressure or whatever happens, the drum that I brought is not tuned. And now this is the fallen story, not the risen story. The session happens, people clap, some people like it. I think the session is good, though I feel somehow it didn't work out well. Because as speakers we have a lot of ego, right? I think, oh my God, it still went well. I'm just trying to give myself dilasa. It went well. It was not so bad. My colleague also, who's very compassionate, she also says, Bob, session was good. I said, thank you so much. So I go back home, feeling okay. It was okay. I knew something didn't go well. It still went well actually. But when I go home, the organizer of the event calls me up, the consultant, and says, "Bob, it was terrible."
Oh my God.
And I said, "Terrible." I laughed.
Ah,
Very good. Good. Very good. So I am disappointed. I'm shocked because I normally get very good feedbacks, from people. Oh, it was awesome. That's the type of response I'm used to. So there was also a little ego in me. So he says
ah,
it went terrible. The learning and development manager called up and said, it didn't go well. And he said a lot of things that I didn't like. I kept the phone down. And the thing is, when a normal person goes through a fall or a mistake or an error, it is only a one-to-one thing, right? They fail, they feel terrible. But we made a mistake in front of 100 people, 150 people. Plus the brand and the reputation is also hit. So I sit on the chair over there, feeling terrible and feeling sorry for myself for 3 hours. I'm feeling so disappointed, and I don't know why. I start, weeping and in tears like a baby because the way he spoke to me and the feedback was terrible, and I was feeling so down. Now, if you just decode what's happening with me, I'm focusing only on what did not work out. I'm only focusing on the fall. I'm only focusing on how embarrassing it was. I'm only focused on, how insulted I felt. I'm only focused on that guy spoke like this. That's all I was focused on. But after some time, I shifted my focus and said, Bob, can you focus on what positive happened out of it? And remember, I said earlier, the biggest breakthrough in life happens when you discover a truth about ourselves. That very moment I discovered that, Bobby, this version of you that you feel proud in is not the version of you that is going to work for you in the future. You got to adapt as a keynote speaker if you want to inspire a million people. You're going to have large audiences, and you got to change the way you deliver your keynotes and your speeches. And I had to reinvent myself, and that's where it started. I had to evolve myself. And then I was able to look at that situation and say, okay, Bob, what have you learned from this? What is the solution you found over here? What have you discovered about yourself? What are some lessons you created for yourself? What have you discovered? And from this, what happened is the new version of me started getting created. So if you see a new version of me delivering keynotes in front of thousands of people, doing music and writing the book and everything, one of the reasons why I was able to do it because I was able to terribly fall. And the answer that I have for people is how do you build positivity? Is shift your focus from what did not work for you, what's terrible, to what lessons you're learning. What's the lesson in this? What's good about this? How can you change your life? What's the possibilities to move ahead? How can you move forward from now? And that happens, and that can only happen when you ask yourself empowering questions. And that's my answer to Bhavya.